Long before humanity walked the earth, a celestial war erupted in the heavens, a war of rebellion, pride, and exile. This is the story of the fallen angels, beings once bathed in divine light, now shrouded in darkness. You've probably heard of Lucifer, the brightest star among them, but he wasn't alone. These fallen ones each had a name, a purpose, and a story. Today, we'll uncover their tales and understand why they fell from grace. Let's start with the one you've all heard of, Lucifer. His name means light-bringer, and he was no ordinary angel. Lucifer was a seraph, one of the most powerful beings in the heavenly hierarchy. He stood close to God, his brilliance unmatched, but pride became his downfall. According to Christian tradition, Lucifer grew envious of God's power and sought to elevate himself above the Creator. He famously declared, "I will ascend to the heavens. I will raise my throne above the stars of God." His rebellion led to a celestial war, and for his hubris, he was cast down to earth, becoming Satan, the adversary. But Lucifer's story is just the beginning. Did you know there were other fallen angels who joined him in rebellion? Let's talk about Azazel. In the book of Enoch, Azazel is depicted as the one who corrupted humanity by teaching forbidden knowledge. He taught men how to craft weapons and women, how to use makeup, seemingly harmless skills. But they were seen as a path to vanity, violence, and destruction. Azazel's influence on humanity's downfall was so severe that he was bound in chains in a dark desert until Judgment Day. Then there's Samael, sometimes called the Angel of Death. His story is complex. Some say he was a loyal servant of God, tasked with carrying out divine punishments, while others depict him as a tempter and destroyer. Samael's duality blurs the line between obedience and rebellion, making him one of the most enigmatic fallen angels. And who could forget Belial? Often associated with lawlessness, Belial is said to embody corruption and wickedness. Ancient texts describe him as leading humanity astray, creating a world filled with chaos and disorder. The Dead Sea Scrolls refer to him as the leader of the sons of darkness, waging war against the forces of light. Another fascinating tale is that of Barbatos. Unlike the others, Barbatos is depicted in demonology as a fallen angel who retained his ability to communicate with animals. He became a ruler of hell, overseeing legions of demons. Barbatos' connection to nature makes his story a peculiar one. Was he a villain or simply misunderstood? These are just a few of the fallen angels whose stories have captivated humanity for centuries. But why did they fall? Was it simply pride, or was it something deeper, an eternal struggle for free will, independence, and identity? The fallen angels remind us of the thin line between light and darkness, good and evil. They were once beings of immense beauty and power, yet they became symbols of rebellion and corruption. But perhaps their stories hold lessons for us about the consequences of ambition, the complexity of morality, and the eternal battle within ourselves. So, what do you think? Are the fallen angels villains? Or do their stories reveal something deeper about the nature of existence? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. And if you enjoyed this journey through the heavens and the abyss, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. The celestial war was over, but the consequences of that rebellion echoed across time and space. The fallen angels, now bound to the earth or cast into shadowy realms, didn't disappear, they adapted. They influenced and they waited. In their exile, some of the fallen angels turned their attention to humanity. They saw in us something familiar, a spark of defiance, a thirst for knowledge, and the ability to choose. To the fallen, humanity became both a fascination and a tool, a way to shape the world in their image. Some, like Azazel, continued to share forbidden knowledge, leading civilizations into ages of warfare, vanity, and decadence. The weapons of war, the secrets of alchemy, and even the power of seduction. These were gifts the fallen angels gave to mankind, but they came with a cost. Others, like Belial, sowed chaos in subtle ways. Stories tell of kings who were led astray, rulers who abandoned justice for greed, and empires that crumbled from within. Belial's influence is said to be the whispers that encourage corruption and division. Still, not all fallen angels pursued destruction. Take Barbatos, for instance. Legends say he wandered the forests and wilds, speaking to animals and guiding lost souls. Some believed he sought redemption in his exile, while others saw his actions as manipulation, an attempt to regain a foothold in a world that no longer belonged to him. And then there's Samael, the angel of death. His role became more ambiguous over time. Was he punishing the wicked or simply fulfilling his destiny? Samael's presence in ancient texts often raises the question, can a fallen angel truly fall if they are still serving some greater purpose? His existence is a paradox, a destroyer who might also be a savior. Meanwhile, Lucifer, now called Satan, became the ultimate symbol of rebellion. But even his story evolved. In some traditions, he is a tempter, luring souls away from God. In others, he is an accuser, testing the faith of the righteous. Could it be that his fall wasn't just an act of defiance, but a reflection of humanity's own inner conflict, a mirror of our choices, our struggles, and our pride? As centuries turned into millennia, the fallen angels became woven into myths, legends, and religions across the world. Their names changed, their roles adapted, but their stories remained. Some became symbols of evil, others misunderstood figures searching for redemption. But the question remains, what was their true purpose? Did they fall because they were defiant, or because they chose to question their place in the divine order? And more importantly, does their existence reveal something about the human condition, our own struggle between light and darkness, obedience and freedom? The tale of the fallen angels isn't just about rebellion or punishment. It's about choice, consequences, and the eternal question, can the fallen ever rise again? The fallen angels, though cast out from heaven, were never truly forgotten. Across centuries, their presence has been felt, subtle yet undeniable. They walked the earth in shadows, influencing kings, shaping empires, and tempting the hearts of men. But what drove their actions? Was it vengeance against the Creator, or a desperate attempt to reclaim what was lost? To understand this, we must look at their interactions with humanity and the legacies they left behind. Take Semjaza, one of the leaders of the Watchers, angels sent to observe humanity. Instead of merely watching, they descended to the earth and took human wives, teaching forbidden knowledge to their offspring. Their union gave birth to the Nephilim, giants who walked the earth wreaking havoc. This act of defiance led to their downfall. Yet some argue it was an act of love, a choice, to connect with humanity rather than remain distant observers. Then there's Armaros, another watcher who taught humanity the secrets of enchantments and magic. The knowledge he shared became both a blessing and a curse. Magic, though powerful, came at a cost, furthering humanity's distance from the divine and plunging the world into chaos. Yet in some stories, Armaros is portrayed as a reluctant teacher, sharing these secrets out of compassion, not malice. But the fallen angels were not merely tormentors or rebels. They were also haunted by guilt. Stories tell of some who sought redemption, like Penemu. He was said to have taught humanity writing and wisdom, gifts that helped civilizations rise. However, he also gave the knowledge of deceit, leading to mistrust and betrayal. Was Penemu a teacher or a corrupter? His dual legacy leaves much to ponder. And what of Lucifer? After his fall, he became more than a figure of rebellion. He became a symbol. Some texts suggest he views humanity not as enemies, but as kindred spirits, beings who struggle against divine will as he once did. His whispers in the ears of the ambitious and the downtrodden alike raise the question, is he purely evil, or is he challenging humanity to think for themselves? As time marched on, the fallen angels faded into myth, but their influence endured. From the rise of ancient sorcery to the moral dilemmas of great leaders, their stories became embedded in human culture. Even today, we see echoes of their presence in tales of rebellion, ambition, and forbidden knowledge. But their story doesn't end here. Legends suggest that some fallen angels still wander the earth, disguised as mortals, watching and waiting. Are they seeking redemption, or are they plotting a return to power? And what of humanity? Are we their allies, their pawns, or their hope for redemption? Perhaps the most compelling question is this: can the fallen ever rise again? The Book of Enoch speaks of a judgment day, a time when all beings, angelic and human, will face their ultimate fate. Will the fallen angels be condemned to eternal darkness, or will they find a path back to the light? Their journey mirrors our own struggles, the desire for freedom, the weight of choices, and the hope for forgiveness. And so, the tale of the fallen angels continues, written not just in the heavens, but in the hearts of those who hear it. Their legacy is not just about rebellion or punishment, but about the eternal dance between light and shadow. What do you believe? Are the fallen angels beyond redemption, or does their story hold a glimmer of hope? Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and join me next time as we explore another chapter of forgotten myths and timeless mysteries. Until then, stay curious and keep seeking the light.